Do you believe in miracles? God doesn't just work miracles for us because we've always been good. He works miracles for us to tell of his goodness. On August 9th, 2025, God chose me to work a miracle in my life. And if you had seen how I physically was 13 years ago when I ended up having to use a wheelchair to get around and braces and a walker. I was rarely able to use the braces and walker though. And even I was able to sometimes use two canes. I also had severe slurred speech. This was all 13 years ago. But with the help of God and the speech therapist, my speech got better, but the walking didn't get better. Well, when I put on the braces, it made me be able to walk some, but not just, it was just a little bit. I would take pictures standing up with my two canes sometimes, or sometimes I would try to walk with my braces and my two canes, but I couldn't walk very far. So it was like 99% of the time I had to use my wheelchair to get around. But in my house, I was able to I would just like hop because I didn't want to always be in the wheelchair. But on August 9th, 2025, I woke up and I was able to walk completely normal again. And I have been walking ever since. People still to this day ask me, how do I feel about when I started walking again? But to me, it really wasn't anything that was too different for me, because God has always worked miracles for me, and I've always seen him work miracles through many other people as well since I was a child and even as an adult. Because I know it was no one but God that did it. You know, people asked me, they was like, where you going to? Did you go to the doctors do something and stuff like that? And I know I didn't. The doctors didn't do anything. It was God, and I know it was God. So basically, when I woke up that morning, I just went to the bathroom, and I didn't even realize that I had walked to the bathroom normal. Until I was sitting on the commode, and I was like, wait a minute, did I just walk to the bathroom? And something was like, get up and walk. So I got up and I walked, and I went into my living room. And my apartment is so small, it's small like a tiny house, but I love tiny houses. So I just continued to walk back and forth in the living room and just praising God, like, praising God and giving God thanks, like this, and just telling God out loud, thank you, and saying, do it, God, do it, God, do it, God. So that's, that it just wasn't nothing new to me, because I know what God can do. And I know that when I end up in a wheelchair, this place that I live in, I've lived in many different places throughout the 13 years or whatever, or throughout my lifetime. But the apartment that me and my son live in now, I know that God placed me right where I needed to be for people here to be able to witness a true miracle, because there's so much evil that's going on here, and people need to be able to see true miracles and see the true work of God. And it changed a lot of people when they saw me walking. I thought it changed, but some of them, they're just not going to ever change. Because you have to want to change. And so hold on, I'm reading. So I've always told of the goodness of God. Since I was a little child, I've always done this. But sometimes some people have to actually see a miracle in order to believe, and it shouldn't take for you to see a miracle in order to believe something. I mean, it just shouldn't. I mean, for me, it never has. Which is why I truly believe God allowed me to go through this. Because you see, He chose me because He knew that I wouldn't be afraid to tell of His goodness and all that He's done for me, because I've never been afraid to do this. But sometimes I do wonder why He allows not so good things to happen or to continue happening in the world, to people, and even in my life. I've been going through a lot lately, but even though I've been going through my trials, as I have pretty much all of my life. Sorry, allergies acting up today. But one of the things that I'm truly thankful for God giving me is my voice back, to be able to continue telling of His goodness. Because there are so many people that are afraid to acknowledge God and to acknowledge their love for God. And you should never be afraid to acknowledge the love that you have for God. And do it for others to see or to hear. You shouldn't have to do it behind closed doors. I mean, it's okay for you to communicate and talk to God, in your or like some people call it a prayer closet. Some people go into their bathroom or whatever. But I think you should be willing to even acknowledge Him in public. I have never been afraid to say that I love God. I don't care who doesn't like it. I will always acknowledge the fact that I love God and that I know God is real. I don't care who doesn't like it. Once again, He's been the only one that has loved me unconditionally, and the only one that has been right by my side through thick and thin, through ups and downs. No matter what, He's never left my side. So today, I say to you, don't give the enemy exactly what they want by not speaking up and speaking your truth. It's healing for you. Speaking your truth, it's healing for you. You are who matters the most. Sorry if I mess up sometimes. I still have a little bit of speech problems. Sometimes I stutter sometimes, or my speech may be slow sometimes. Some people act like they still don't really understand me, but I understand myself really, really good. But I talk faster than I used to talk. So it's healing for you, and you are who matters the most, outside of God, of course. Tell of the goodness of God every chance you get, whether you are currently going through trials or not. And, you just never know how speaking your truth or telling of the goodness of God just might be the thing that gives someone else their true breakthrough or the courage to do the same thing. We may sometimes sit and wonder, when is God going to do it for us? But we got to stop focusing so much on that and focusing so much on ourselves. Like, when is He going to do it for us? And pray for our enemies and everyone else in this world as well. So as for me, I will continue to speak my truth and tell of the goodness of God. that I know, or because I know what God can do, has done, and will do in the future. Thanks so much for listening. I am Cre-cre Inspires. I create to inspire. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Saturday or had a wonderful Saturday. And I hope everyone has a wonderful Sunday. Have a blessed night. Thanks so much for listening again. Bye for now.